Hello my friends. Welcome to Stylish Homes for elegant home design ideas. Hey there, futury epoxy artisan. Designing an epoxy table is like conducting a symphony of chemistry, nature, and creativity. Let's dive into the process with tips, tricks, and big design energy. Buckle up, it's a wild, resin-filled ride. Epoxy tables are storytellers. Ask yourself, mood, do you want a calm ocean wave, cosmic galaxy, or raw organic texture? Wood choice. Live edge slabs, walnut, oak, or charred shosujiban add drama. Smooth cut wood feels modern. Epoxy style, transparent, opaque, glow in the dark. Metallic pigments. This is your canvas. Epoxy resin. Use deep pore resin, thick layers, fewer bubbles for river tables or tabletop resin for thin coats. Brands like Epoxy or Liquid Glass or Stellar. Wood. Kiln-dried, stabilized wood avoids warping. Seal edges with silicone to prevent leaks. Pigments. Mica powders, alcohol inks, or even crushed gemstones for texture. Tools. Mold materials, melamine, silicone mixer, torch heat gun, for bubbles, sander, 63000 grit, and gloves, safety first. Prep the mold. Line it with release agent. Tape edges if using wood. Mix epoxy. Follow ratios religiously. Under-mixing equals sticky disaster. Layer and play. Pour in thin layers for depth. Embed treasures. Dried flowers, seashells, or copper wire, between pores. Bubble banishing. Torch the surface gently to pop bubbles, or use a pressure pot for pro-level clarity. Sanding. Start coarse, 60 grit, to flatten, then climb to 3000 grit for a mirror finish. Wet sanding avoids dust. Finishing. Buff with food-grade wax or a UV-resistant topcoat to prevent yellowing. For a liquid glass effect, polish with automotive compound. Legs. Hairpin, welded steel, or raw timber. Match the base to your table's personality. Ventilation. Resin fumes are no joke. Work outdoors or with a respirator. Patience. Rushing curing equals cloudy resin. Let it harden for 72+ hours, follow brand guidelines. Cleanup. Acetone for sticky mistakes, but avoid skin contact. Glow in the dark. Add phosphorescent powder for a table that literally shines at night. Geode fantasy. Carve crevices into wood. Fill with epoxy plus crushed glass crystals. Hybrid designs. Combine epoxy with concrete, metal inlays, or LED backlighting. Epoxy tables are functional art. They demand boldness and precision. But remember, the best designs often come from happy accidents. Spill a weird color. Lean into it, wood crack. Turn it into a resin lightning bolt. Ready to make a piece that stops guests mid-sentence. Go pour your heart out. Blue Heart. The backstory is she loves to follow me from room to room, and I love having her around me. Being a content creator, I am always on the computer trying to get work done. As long as I'm in her sight, that's enough. I made her a desk a while back, but that was too bulky to lug around. This is why this table came about. For our purpose, it's a kid's table. For others, this would make a perfect nightstand or end table. The same concept can be applied to any surface. The resin I'm using is from Countertop Epoxy. There are many brands out there, and this is the one I have experience with. I went with epoxy because it's durable and easy to maintain. The more layers you have, the more wet sand you can use to remove scratches. Hey Design Explorer. Epoxy length isn't a standard term, but let's decode what you might be asking. Because in resin work, scale and dimension are everything. Whether you're talking about the length of the table, depth of the pour, or flow of the design, each detail shapes the final masterpiece. Let's unravel this. If you meant pour depth, the art of volume, thick, glossy epoxy rivers are sleek, shallow accents. Depth dictates drama. Structural integrity. Thick pours 2+ inches need deep pour resin. E.g., Epoxy liquid glass, to cure slowly and avoid cracking from heat buildup. Visual impact. Deeper epoxy equals hypnotic 3D effects. Think embedded fossils, layered pigments, or floating geodes. Practical limits. Most resins max out at 2 inches per pour. For chunkier designs, layer in stages 24-hour intervals to prevent ambering or bubbles. If you meant table length, balance and proportion, a table's length and overall size shapes the epoxy's role. Long tables, epoxy can act as a river, flowing through the center. Too narrow. It'll feel like a stream. Too wide. It might overpower the wood. Weight distribution. Longer tables need sturdy bases, steel frames, thick legs to support heavy resin. Sagging epoxy equals sad designer. Design rhythm. On a 7 feet plus table, break up the epoxy with wood, islands, or metallic veins to keep the eye moving. While not length, time is epoxy's silent partner. Pot life. How long you have to work the resin before it hardens varies from 20 minutes to 2 hours. Longer pot life equals more time for intricate designs. Full cure. Rushing this equals sticky disaster. Most resins need 7 days to fully harden for sanding, sealing. Epoxy isn't just filler. It's the emotional core of your table. The way you scale it affects mood. Deep, dark resin feels moody and luxe. Shallow, bright pours feel playful. Function. Thicker epoxy equals ultra durable, great for dining tables. Thinner layers equals lighter, for consoles. Cost. Resin isn't cheap. Larger, longer pours demand budget planning. Whether you're pouring a tiny accent table or a 10 feet live edge beast, every inch of epoxy is a chance to manipulate light, texture, and storytelling.